Everything that has taken place at the first 38 WrestleManias has happened under the watchful eye of one fella, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And while WrestleMania will always be his favorite creation, sorry you two, like all children, sometimes your kids don't quite live up to expectations. I'm Senor Siete for 7 Wrestling, and we're going to take a look at 7 WrestleMania matches that Vince McMahon hates. If you like this video, please drop a like on us and subscribe for even more wrestling goodness. Number 1. The Undertaker vs. Triple H, WrestleMania 27. In a show that was headlined by a lame duck champion The Miz defending the WWE title against John Cena, in a match that was sure to be overshadowed by the long-awaited return of Dwayne, the new power in the DC Universe Johnson, and a screwy ending that wasn't doing anybody any favors. Vince McMahon was counting on 2 of his most reliable talents to put on a semi-main event that would leave people talking. And they did. The Triple H vs. Undertaker no-holds-barred brawl from WrestleMania. You know, the one that just started off with no words, just them pointing. It's an underrated classic. It's what happened after the bout that left the genetic jackhammer disgusted. The dead man picked up the victory when he forced the game to tap out while in his Hell's Gate submission hold. However, the strain of the epic matchup was too much, and the Demon of Death Valley passed out on the way out of the ring. Paramedics were called in, and The Undertaker had to be taken from the ringside area on a stretcher. And Vince hated this. In an interview with ESPN Sports Nation, The Undertaker said, yeah, he didn't like it. He did not like it at all. To quote, "My Undertaker walks out of the ring. I don't care if he wins or loses, my Undertaker walks out." However, the end result was the epic Triple H vs. Undertaker Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 28, so he couldn't have been that upset for too long. Number 2. Michael Cole vs. Jerry Lawler, WrestleMania 27. 2 matches from the same night? Oof, Vince was having a rough time of it. It was meant as a chance to finally give Jerry, the king of dad jokes Lawler, his WrestleMania moment. And what better way to salute the Memphis wrestling icon than with a match against sports entertainment legend, Michael Cole. Oh, the announcer. Okay. Well, no worries, because Vince seemed to pull out all of the bells and whistles, all of the smoke and mirrors to help get this dumpster fire of a concept over. They had Hall of Famer Stone Cold Steve Austin as a special guest referee. They put Cole in the wildly underappreciated coal mine announcer's booth, and they had the all-American Jack Swagger as Michael Cole's cornerman. How could they possibly go wrong? Oh wait, I'm sorry, did you not know that Jack Swagger used to be called the All-American American? You know, the All-American who was actually from America? See, there are things dumber than his AEW hat gimmick. Anyhow, they couldn't put lipstick on this pig to make it a good match, but at least Lawler would get to have his hand raised at the Showcase of the Immortals, right? Wrong. Inexplicably, Michael Cole got the win on that bizarre evening. Who booked this? Oh yeah, that's right, sorry. That's why it's so hilarious that Michael Cole would later admit that when he finally spoke with Vince, he was told, "This is the worst thing I've ever witnessed in 60 years. Although, in all of their defense, I didn't expect to see a match featuring Michael Cole on a list of Vince McMahon's 7 favorite WrestleMania matches. Number 3. Kevin Owens vs. Chris Jericho, WrestleMania 33. This is a weird one. Kevin Owens was crowned the WWE Universal Champion after Finn Balor went down with an injury in the match where he actually won the title. Owens would go on to have a respectable reign, which was most notable for his relationship with Chris Jericho. The duo was hilarious together, with the Ayatollah of Rock and Roll's list of Jericho being a highlight of every episode of Monday Night Raw. The storyline led to the legendary Festival of Friendship, where Kevin Owens' paranoia would get the best of him in a segment that was equal parts hilarious, endearing, and heartbreaking. Jericho was led to believe that this would lead to a Universal title match main event at that year's WrestleMania, with him winning, which honestly seems unlikely based on the other matches on the card, such as Brock Lesnar against Goldberg and Roman Reigns facing The Undertaker. This was proved to be true when Owens would drop the Universal title in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail at Fastlane 2017 to Goldberg. So Owens and Jericho ended up facing off against each other for the US title in the second match of the night. And it was fine, I guess, maybe a little anticlimactic, but nothing horrible. But when Owens returned through the curtain, he sensed something was off. He asked Vince if everything was okay, and McMahon responded with a very disappointing no. When asked about the moment, Jericho explained in a TalkSport interview he told Kevin it was the worst match in WrestleMania history. I never heard anything about it. When I came through, Vince went, thumbs up. So I think he was on Kevin's case at the time. Motivational technique or not, by the timeline, that makes this match worse than the Michael Cole match. So technically, it's the worst match of a 65-year period. Number 4, Brock Lesnar vs. Goldberg, WrestleMania 20. Speaking of Brock Lesnar vs. Goldberg, here's a match that is absolutely worthy of Vince McMahon's scorn. It should have been a dream match, the man who dominated WCW facing off against the next big thing, and Vince had done a masterful job planting little nuggets for this feud until it exploded at 2004's Royal Rumble. Let's fast forward to that year's No Way Out, and Goldberg helps cost Lesnar the WWE title to Eddie Guerrero. The stage was set for a battle of the Titans. And best of all, there could be a clean finish, as this was to be Goldberg's final match with the company. F5, 1, 2, 3, call it a day. But Goldberg didn't have any more dates on his contract, so he didn't have to show up to promote the match, which made things awkward. Then, Lesnar decided he wanted to leave WWE to go become a professional football player. What should have been a slam dunk was becoming an airball. And once the fans found out what was going on, the entirety of Madison Square Garden decided to crap on the match, with the only cheers being reserved for special guest referee Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's the second Austin refereed match that has gone horribly. Weird. And what was the finish? To hear Goldberg explain it to Between the Ropes, he wanted to kill me. I know he wanted to kill Brock, so I guess he wanted to kill Brock more, and that's why I won. You can almost hear the old man, can't you? I don't give a damn who wins, but make sure Steve stutters both of them. And so he did, and it was good. But the match was bad. Number 5, Mickie James vs. Trish Stratus, WrestleMania 22. In the Ruthless Aggression era, it was rare for women to get an angle and a build as consistent and as high quality as the one between Trish Stratus and Mickie James. The newly debuting James was downright giddy that she was rubbing shoulders with her idol Trish Stratus, and what followed was a single white female-ish take on a crazed stalker. James may have played it too well, as by the time they made it to WrestleMania 22 in Chicago, the fans were starting to root for her. And perhaps the little improvisational maneuver she pulled during the match helped her cause, as she, grabbed the provider of Stratusfaction in a sensitive area? Yeah, and then proceeded to lick her own hand. Yeah, it was not subtle, but the crowd loved it, and Mickie's victory was met with a roar of approval. And up until that point, it's safe to say it was the best women's match in WrestleMania history. But she wasn't greeted with hugs and high fives when she returned to the gorilla position. James would tell The Sun, "I came back through the curtain and Vince was really mad. In the moment, it had seemed amazing to me. I thought Vince will love this. Crass was the word I got. He didn't like it at all. He told me we're going to have to go back and edit that out." And edit it they did. There is no evidence of this bawdy moment on the WWE network anywhere. It just lives in the hearts of men everywhere. Number 6, Becky Lynch vs. Ronda Rousey vs. Charlotte, WrestleMania 35. And in a situation that Trish and Mickie could have only dreamed of, 3 women were going to perform in the main event of WrestleMania, and it was very well deserved. Despite a failed heel turn, Becky Lynch was able to turn a broken nose into the hottest angle of the year. Ronda Rousey was 1 year into her wrestling career and had enjoyed amazing matches with Sasha Banks, Nikki Bella, and Nia Jax. And Charlotte, well, she's always got to be there, right? The build of the match was rocky, but a wild brawl had gotten them back where they needed to be, and then the longest WrestleMania ever took place. At least it seemed that way. And they were at the end. It's possible that the New York, New Jersey crowd was tired by the time the trio hit the ring. It's also possible that they were burnt out by the emotional high of Kofi Kingston's Kofi Mania storyline coming to an amazing conclusion a few hours earlier. Blame it on the outdoor stadium, blame it on a burnout crowd, blame it on whatever, but the match wasn't done any favors by the fact that the deciding fall, and Ronda Rousey's only defeat up until that point, took place with her shoulder way up off of the canvas. Vince was supposedly so incensed at referee Rob Zapata missing the mistake that he was fined over the incident. Number 7, Brock Lesnar vs. Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 34. And last, and potentially least, we don't have a ton of information about this one. It was the millionth meeting of the Big Dog and the Mayor of Suplex City in the main event of a pretty successful WrestleMania, and it did not go well. chants for anything but the two combatants rang out, beach balls were tossed around, and the babyface Roman Reigns was booed to oblivion. And when it was all said and done, the obvious ending of Reigns taking the title didn't happen. In one of the weirdest conclusions of WrestleMania history, Lesnar pinned Reigns and called it a day. To add to the weirdness, there's footage of an annoyed Lesnar chucking the Universal title at McMahon after the match. So what happened? Well, nobody knows for sure, but the popular belief is the conclusion was changed mid-match and Lesnar was not happy with it. I can't imagine anyone being happy with a WrestleMania main event that is so objectively terrible. Well, that's our list. Did we miss any? If so, please put them in the comment section below. Also, if you had fun with this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. Until next time, I'm Senor Siete for 7 Wrestling. Bye-bye!